Hello and welcome back to the Sheva Secrets Nach series. Today we will learn rule number 3, how to read the Sheva when you have two Shevas in a row. Let's dive in. So how do you read two Shevas side by side, consecutively? What if you see one Sheva under one letter and the next letter also has a Sheva? How do you read them? Rule number 3 is that when there are two Shevas that are consecutive, two consecutive Sheva, the first Sheva is Nach, meaning it's silent and it closes the previous syllable. And the second Sheva is Na, and it starts off the new syllable. A way to think about this is that the first Sheva is actually almost as though it's ending off the break of sound, that syllable, and even that word, not really, but you could think of it that it's breaking off that word. Whereas the next Sheva, the second one, is starting a new word. And in rule number 1, we know that when you start with a word with a Sheva under it, it's a Sheva Na. So that's how you could think about it. The first is a Sheva Nach, the second is a Sheva Na. So one way to remember this is that when two Shevas go walking, the second one does the talking. That's just one cute way for children to remember it. Two Shevas go walking, the second one does the talking. And again, what that means is that the first one is silent, is Nach. The second one is a Sheva Na, and it moves, it has a sound that's pronounced. Let's look at some examples. Example number 1 is Tishmeru. See, the first syllable ends with that shin with the Sheva under it, tish. Then you start, the next Sheva is me, tishmeru. Tishmeru, 3 syllables. So is that a Sheva Na or a Sheva Nach? The answer is the first one is the Sheva Nach, where it rests, and the second one is a Sheva Na, tishmeru. Similarly, example number 2 is avdecha. Avdecha. The first one is a Sheva Nach, so it's av. The vet is not moving. Then you have the dalid, which is avdecha. Avde, de is the shvana, and then you have avdecha, the last syllable of the word. Now, incidentally, the dalid also has a dagesh in it, and following rule number 2, if it has a dagesh, you would be pronouncing the sheva under it as a shvana. But there's some overlap here, and you'll see how there's a lot of overlap across all of the rules. Example number 3, artsechem. Ar, Aleph Resh, with the first Sheva is closing off that syllable of Ar, Tsechem. Ar, Tsechem. The first Sheva is silent, the second one is pronounced. The first is a Sheva Nach, and the second one is a Sheva Na, Ar, Tsechem. So now it's your turn to try. Go ahead and pause the video, take a look at these words on the screen, and tell me, how do you think you read them? Okay, hopefully you got a chance to try these on your own. The first word is pronounced Nach Pesa. Nach Pesa. The nun and the chet, that Sheva underneath the chet, the first one, is a Sheva Nach. Therefore, it is Nach Pesa. And the second one, the Pe, is starting the next, is the second one is a Sheva Na. Therefore, it's read as Nach Pesa. Again, you could see that there's a dagesh in that letter, but really the rule that we're honing in on now is two Shvaim Retzufim, 2 consecutive Sheva, 2 letters that have Sheva under both of them, and they're consecutive. The first one is a Sheva Nach, the second was a Sheva Na, Nach Pesa, and the second one is Eshmera, Ki Eshmera Shabbat. There's a famous song of Ki Eshmera Shabbat. Eshmera. Esh, the first shin is the Sheva Nach, and therefore it's Esh. Second one under the mem is a Sheva Na, Eshmera. So let's go back to our rule bank, and we're layering on rule number 3. The first rule is that the Sheva under the first letter of the word, beginning of the word, is a Sheva Na. The second rule is that if you have a Sheva under a letter with a dagesh, that dot in the middle, it's a Sheva Na. And the third rule is that if you have 2 Shevas in a row, the first is a Sheva Nah, the second one is a Sheva Na. And again, one way to think about this, really to incorporate rule number 1 into it, is that the first one is ending off the word or closing off that syllable, and that second Sheva is really beginning that new word or beginning that new syllable. And by rule number 1, it would be a Sheva Nach. In the next video, we are going to learn rule number 4 of how to pronounce a Sheva that is at the end of the word. As always, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your feedback. Also, please share this series with anyone that you feel will find it useful, informational, and will enjoy it. I'll see you next time.